A dark forest. Trees surrounding you, emerald tone as they tower over you. Whether you're running, flying, whatever method of dashing through these trees, you find your group sprinting through claustrophobic trees and undergrowth. The forest would be mostly quiet if it weren't for the sounds of your own running, your own breathing, and a bear quickly gaining up to you. As you run, the soil's damp from recent rain and smells pleasantly earthy, although tinged with the aroma of decay from many spongy mushrooms that cover the floor. There's natural light overhead that is largely blocked out by the trees, but what little peeks through casts long, unnatural shadows across a dirt path. The silhouettes of the tree branches reach out over the path like long, taloned hands. As you're running, this bear snarls as it comes for you. Foam and spittle flying from its mouth, it reaches out with two large claws, only for its strikes to be repelled by a seemingly invisible barrier. Its face flattens against a pane that briefly shines iridescent in the low light before it flickers out again. You see the bear stumble back from the impact and growl, making for you once again. But the barrier gleams briefly as the creature hits it, and the bear then whimpers at you through the barrier and retreats back into the forest, leaving your group centered here, wondering what just happened. And as you stand there, in order from left to right with the roll 20 names, introduce yourself, introduce your character. Starting with the face in the middle here.
Son of a bitch. My character is named Matthew Deray. He's kind of filling the black sheep role in his wealthy family, even though that is not necessarily indicative of that relationship. It's just kind of what it is. He is a rich kid, but for whatever reason just wants to see the world a little bit, you know? And he's a human. He's a caster. He's relatively tall, 5'11", didn't quite make it, rip. With black hair and decent looking clothes, and that's about it.
Lovely, lovely. Next up,
you would note that he is significantly closer to Vivian than the rest of you, despite us having been together for a while.
And yes, you have been a party for a while, whether it's months, years. You've known each other. Fiametta, you're up next.
Okay, Fiametta is a wee little thing. You would know her to be a fairy, but unlike in the photo, she wears a big hat, has a big cloak on, and you just see the large beady eyes sticking out of it. Very moth-like in appearance. Kind of right now resting, holding herself up with the staff after we were running very quickly away. And yeah.
All right.
That's it for now.
Next up, Vivian.
Vivian is what appears to be a 6-year-old child. She's a whistlekin, so she's has the appearance of a puppet or a wood-like doll. She was kicked out of her home after her parents found out that she was a whistlekin because she was quote unquote pretending to be their child. And after wandering through the forest for some time, she eventually met Matthew, and they ended up staying together, and he taught her a lot about magic. And she's always stayed by his side.
Wonderful. Craig.
Craig is a hobgoblin fighter. He is the son of a hobgoblin warlord, the oldest son of one, so the opposite of Matthew. Instead of being the youngest child, he's the oldest child. And just didn't want to deal with all that responsibility, so he dipped out, met up with you guys, and here he is now.
And last but not least, Calamar.
Sorry, I was muted because the dogs are very excited right now. One second.
Puppy.
All right, sorry about that. So Calamar is basically your standard pretty boy bard. Kind of goes wherever life takes him. I imagine he just I don't know. He came upon this group of people and was like, "Yes, that's what I want to do now. Adventure," and it's just been following them wherever they go since then.
And adventuring has found all of you in these dark woods, being chased by a bear before it abruptly slammed into this shimmering shield of some kind and ran off before you, leaving you protected, it seems, on the other side of this barrier. What would you like to do?
Craig is gonna plop down right here on a log, and that was heck of an experience. I do not know where that bear came from. I'm glad it was slow, though.
Everyone okay?
Yeah, that was a grumpy bear.
I don't know if we should be glad the bear is slow. I'm just happy that I was faster. And I'm going to go up and see if I can, do we see the barrier?
You do. It is with the light that you have from just beyond the trees and the canopies. It does shine, and you can see the glimmer of this, translucent glass barrier or all glass-like barrier in front of you.
I'm gonna try to poke it.
You poke the barrier, and it lets out almost like this, like water ripple effect. Nothing seemingly happens to you. Also, your finger doesn't seem to get any, unlike water, your finger hits the barrier and stop. It is more glass-like than water. Your finger does not move through the barrier.
Since it hasn't instantly killed me, I'm just gonna try to push with my whole hand a little harder.
You put your hand up against it, you begin pushing harder, and you push, and it is like pushing against a brick wall. You can clearly see the other side. You see the other side of the forest. You watch the bear leave, but you're pushing him against a brick wall right now. Nothing is budging. You are not going through, and it is not letting you through.
Well, I turn around and say, it appears that the blessing that this barrier was to stop the bear has now also trapped us. And he kind of puts his hands up don't know what to do now.
And I will also say, if you can notice it on the map, while you were running through this forest, it has been raining, and you notice that the barrier completely cuts off the rain. The rain dead stops on the edge of the barrier.
Does the rain make a sound as it hits the barrier?
No, actually.
Mm.
You do not hear any sounds. The sounds you hear, you can glean to be from inside the barrier currently. You do not. The second you would have crossed that threshold, the sounds of heavy downpour stopped. Which you notice now. Maybe when you first entered the barrier, you wouldn't have noticed just because of catching your breath. And you've just had a bear chasing you. But as you sit here now, yeah, you cannot hear the sound of that rain.
Well, I guess we'll look deeper in. Do we see anything in the near vicinity deeper into the barrier?
Give me a perception. First roll of the campaign.
Oh.
No pressure.
Roll the 10. Couldn't be any better.
13.
So 13 total.
As you turn around and face, the opposite direction, it's very faint. As in, you can barely see it through the cluster of the trees.
Mm-hmm.
But you swear you can see glowing lights. And not like the light shine of a torch. It's not like bright yellow. You see multiple reds, golds, blues between the cluster of trees. Not enough to make it out, but you're pretty sure you can see a rainbow of colors.
Well, that does look enticing. Fia Metals say to herself, "What is that?" and just start walking in that direction.
Oh, God, not again. Femina, no. We've talked about this. Lights, I know, but we have to stick together.
But it's not a dangerous. It's so bright in color.
No, it's very nicely colored. We don't know where this is. And it's a little weird that these lights are showing up when we've just been saved by a mystical barrier.
What if Matthew made you a campfire right here instead?
We don't want to get a little further from the barrier. What if the barrier is dangerous and we just don't know it yet?
The barrier just saved us from the bear. As far as I'm concerned, the barrier is my best friend.
Barrier did indeed save us. Is there
it
a
covers
decent...
our backs. You can't attack us from the backside. There's only one avenue of attack. I think it's a good spot to camp for the night.
That is true.
What were you going to
Jason
say?
kind of looks grumpy.
Is there a path that or not a path, but like a kind of obscured path through the trees that we can try to get a little closer?
Yeah, you can definitely see there is it doesn't look like a trail, but as described previously, through the thicket of trees, there is definitely what you could call a quote-unquote dirt path that seems more like a path than just forest floor. Or, the floor of a woods. And I'll say, for purposes, it's right here.
Okay. Well, unless someone needs to rest and replenish, I don't know exactly what we would be waiting for. I don't think this barrier is just going to dispel itself. I think in is our only option. We just can't run into it,
I'm glad we talked it through. And Fiamma is going to start heading down the trail.
All right, Craig. Well, you're the fighter. You know your position.
Oh man.
What
Yeah, I'm kind of like doing one of those like shove taps to his back.
What were you saying, Vivian?
I was gonna say Vivian was gonna be following right behind Fiametta, going, "Yay! We can go see the pretty lights."
Right. As everyone walks through this pathway, can you all give me perceptions, please? We're going to stay on this map for a little bit.
My screen turned off. There we go.
No, dare it. Hell yeah, brother.
Good rolls.
Okay. The low rolls are still going to see things. They're just not going to see it, before the others do. But as you walk through this pathway through the trees and get closer to these lights, eventually there's a break in the trees, and you're able to see ahead of you, a little ways ahead of you, an imposing, twisting, iron-wrought archway. Atop it, there are illuminated letters glowing red, blues, various colors, like neon, reflecting off the thick forest fog. For Vivian and Matthew, the fog is making the letters a bit hard to read. But for everyone else, through the night sky and full moon down above you, you can first hear the sounds of laughter and the smell of popcorn spilling out from this archway. And you're able to read this lit up sign atop this archway that blinks once, then twice, then a third time, as Calamar, Fiametta, and Craig are all able to make out the letters and the words, the Revelia.
Guys, I can't see shit. What's up there?
Some fancy sign says Revelia. Mean anything to you?
Does it mean anything to me?
You can give me a very hard history check.
I believe. Oh.
I will say with a 13, you may have heard tales or, folklore or whatnot, or, may have heard it as, oh yeah, like the Revelia is something you tell your kids to get them to sleep, or they'll be taken to the Revelia. It's like the Revelia pops in your head as, oh, this is a story. This isn't a real thing.
Oh yeah, it's a story. I wonder if they're going to do like a player kind of thing. Something to mess with the kids.
Like a fun story?
No, more like a ghost story that you tell your kids when they don't go to sleep or something. Don't be mean to your sister, or the bagman's going to come take you to the Revelia type thing. But I mean, it's just a story. I don't know what this is.
That does sound very dangerous.
I mean, whatever it is, I don't think it's anything I don't think it'd be dangerous to us, We kind of know what we're doing.
True.
Sounds like something that would only be dangerous to children as I slowly draw my eyes down towards Vivian.
Vivian's just gonna slowly hide behind Matthew.
It's okay. That bear was definitely more of a danger to you. You seen what bears do to trees? Savages.
As you guys sit there and look towards the sign, you begin to hear faint, very faint music slowly permeating its way out from this archway and into the deeper woods. The sound of what can only be described as carnival music.
Ah, that makes a lot of sense. It's like a scary carnival themed thing.
That doesn't sound bad at all. That sounds great.
Yeah, how can carnivals be scary?
Carnival does sound quite enjoyable.
Can we go?
Little bit of an odd location, being trapped in behind a barrier, but
It's for the aesthetic. This barrier is probably used to funnel people in to add to the ambiance, and then you can, pay
Never
or
get
something to. You can pay to get in, or they can give you a little thing that lets you pass through.
The bear's a scare actor.
Yeah, Bear's a paid actor.
Or they don't want it to rain on their parade.
That's also true.
I do like the
Okay,
rain
well-
effect down here. Side note.
No time like the present. And I start tapping Craig in the back again. Push, push, push.
You
We go.
begin getting pushed further and further. You eventually, you get closer. The sounds of the forest from behind you die out to a louder and louder cacophony of music. As you get closer to this archway, you see just inside and past, you do see tents and whatnot. But past and inside, to the left and right of this gate and archway, are two statues depicting a tall clown with his face hidden behind a mask. Slapped onto the midriff of one statue is a poster with the same figure and mask as the clown's, except the mask is animated and moving and winking jovially. The statues are gold from head to toe. Every few seconds they change poses, and a sound emanates from the statues in synchronicity. Welcome, my weary, winsome, wondrous visitors! Rally Rune vor Revelia! Please do look around. Partake in the games, in the treats. There are no limits here. Whatever you can dream is yours. Just don't forget to smile. And as you walk in past this gate, you see before you is a wondrous, vibrant carnival. I'm gonna move us maps. To the Revelia. You are here. You see sweethearts stroll hand in hand, munching on delectable treats. Creatures and persons of all kinds walk around with smiles on their faces. Laughter rings in the air. Strangely dressed clowns and jesters with brightly colored hair and outfits roam through the crowds. Everywhere there are many tents and buildings, most emblazoned with colorful signage. In the distance, you see a huge red tent loom at the center of this carnival, its spires piercing the misty veil overhead. You also catch a glimpse of a glittering Ferris wheel. Both the tent and the wheel, however, appear hazy, almost as if they're mirage-like. As you're walking in, you see out of the corners of your eyes, half hidden behind a nearby tent, sitting on the ground with an arm around their waist as they beckon you, is a humanoid figure.
Said beckoning towards us?
Yeah, beckoning you towards them.
This is
Kinda-
incredible.
Yeah. Do we know how far exactly we are from the last spot that we knew, I guess?
If
We started the traveling from somewhere and then we ended up getting chased by the bear. Did that bear really fuck up our navigation so we're kind of lost, or
I would say likely You would know that from the last city or last town that you gathered in to take whatever job or quest it was to take was maybe a few days away from where you are now, you think. But when you got to these woods and the bear chase started, it would have been a mad dash, and you would have definitely... Navigation would have went out the window the second you started running from, a frenzied bear. But you do know that you're at least, to your knowledge, a couple of days away from the nearest big city or town.
Okay. I guess I'll look around and look back at the guy and kind of point to us, point questioningly.
You see a middle-aged human man as he's leaning against this tent. Once again, just reiterates does the come here motion to your group.
I guess I'll just backslap the shoulder of the closest person to me and kind of just start walking over there.
We go.
Yeah, we go.
Alright. You all approach the backside of this tent where, again, you see this middle-aged human leaning against this red velvet tent. There's an arm wrapped around the middle of their stomach. Their white shirt that has now been faded to gray is bloodied. They have this thick white beard that is uncombed and wild. You see weapons dangle from straps hidden under their thick leather coat as they look around to make sure no one else is watching before they speak to you. You see them kind of smell the air, and they say,
"You smell that? Smells like something rotting. Maybe freshly harvested meat. Well, now I'm hungry. Once I stitch this up and give you the lowdown, I'm ready for dinner."
And he looks at your group. He kind of waits a beat for you to really gather in closely. And he says,
"This is gonna sound really unfortunate for your lot. But seeing as you're new entries, no one arrives here in the Revelia by chance, and few are able to leave. Unless you're willing to die, that's the most common kind of escape, and even then, that doesn't work sometimes. Heckna wants you to be here. He'll do what he can to keep you here."
That name mean anything to me?
I'll allow everyone to roll me histories upon hearing the name Heckna. Vivian and Matthew, you think on it, maybe, Matthew, you definitely perhaps have heard the name in conjecture with the stories of the Revelia, or if you haven't heard the name before, you've definitely heard the mastermind, or, the mastermind behind the Revelia. For Craig, Calamar, and Fiametta, now that you know more, now that you've heard Matthew mention the stories and are here proper, I'll say, Craig, that you probably have heard the stories as a young hobgoblin too, same with Calamar being a bard, you've heard the stories. You've definitely heard of the mastermind behind the Revelia, and now that you've perchance properly heard the name in a setting that isn't a book, you go, oh yes, Heckna. That is the mastermind, the ringmaster. He is the ringmaster of the Revelia. He is the jester of the carnival, the one who sees over it all. Fiametta, you have that same knowledge, but because I read your backstory earlier that you posted, yeah, how you say to yourself, how could I have not known this before? This is Heckna's Revelia. Yes, I know this. And maybe there's a bit of excitement behind that too, despite hearing you can only leave if you die.
More time to find stuff. Yay!
You actually say that out loud?
No. She does like light up at the name Heckna though, and start looking around. No one else interjects.
No, go for it, Chief.
It doesn't look as scary as I thought it'd be. I mean, this carnival, it should have made sense. We get to... Oh my. And she just, like, says that and is looking around very excited.
Yeah, Heckna's a boogeyman we tell young hobgoblins and goblins about, and I didn't expect the place to look this nice, though.
Oh, like we said, walking up. Kids. Scary kids. What's more enticing than to a child than a carnival?
Trust me.
A normal child.
Heckna's...
Kind of like looking at the hobgoblin.
Heckna's very real. He's the mastermind behind this Revelia. Rules over it. He's constantly watching he does quotation marks with his one good arm. Watching his guests. He's extremely powerful. If you see Heckna, he sees you. And then, to, everyone saying, oh, this looks like a nice place, he goes, trust me, things here are not what they seem. Keep your guard up.
No. You can't just say that. You can't just say that and then leave us with the cryptic keep your guard up. What do you mean it's not what it seems?
Does it have anything to do with your pouring out insides?
You don't look great. Do you need help? Do you need help with that? I think we have some healing stuff somewhere, and I'm like start rummaging through my bag.
This is what happens when you try and take the fight to Heckna. And you might eventually think that's the best course of action too, but I've heard rumors that there's some sort of vehicle that can pierce the boundary of the Revelia. I've been trying to tell every new group that enters this, but no one seems to listen. Maybe you'll be the lucky ones that get out of here with your wits about you.
Can I, look at this guy's wounds to see if it's something that, I could easily heal with a spell?
Sure. You want to roll me a, I guess you can roll me a medicine.
Let's hope it's good.
An 18. He most likely can be healed with magic. He seems to be... You notice, you notice that it's not any cuts or slashes or anything like that. There's no, scorch marks or anything, but rather his... Well, it's not caved in, because he'd be dead, but whatever hit him is very big, blunt force trauma. He took something heavy to the chest. And if you do go to, cast a spell, if you go to heal him, he kind of, waves you off, and you see him pull out a bottle from his, from one of his various pouches. And now you're all adventurers. You're used to the, cherry red medicinal healing potions. He pulls out something more akin to a soda. It is fizzy, and it is bubbly. And he drinks it, and, smashes the bottle down. And you see some more life come to him, and he says,
I thank you, but that's fine. You need to save whatever you have for yourselves. That'll tide me over until I can get something in me.
So,
Sorry, go.
so what do you expect us to do with this information?
Stay alive. Make friends where you can. Only with those who you can truly trust. If you need someplace safe, the hostel is relatively... The food sold in the food court is, he kind of like thinks for a moment, mostly safe to eat. That's all I can say for now. It's much too dangerous to stay here any longer. Find me at the Lost and Found if you can make your way.
And he kind of like does a flip of his long coat and begins to kind of hobble walk around the other side of the tent away from you to head
Wait,
deeper.
which way's the Lost and Found?
Rather jokingly, he says, "You'll find it."
This fucking guy.
As he walks away, he said it smelled like death. I'm gonna take a giant like inhale of air and see if I can smell anything other than like carnival stuff on the air.
Give me a perception, if you will.
Can I do the same just for gigs and shiggles?
Yeah.
Right.
9, you smell the carnival smells. You know, funnel cake,
Alright.
cotton candy, buttered popcorn. Craig, you know, take a big whiff. You do get all those scents within you. You know, the buttered popcorn, the soda, the smells of a carnival. But there is a faint whiff of decay or something rotten. Whether it's meat or you're smelling like the essence of something evil, you do have a faint whiff of, oh, that's gross.
Maybe there is a faint, gross smell on the air.
I mean, it's a carnival. They gotta put trash somewhere, and like let's be honest, people are kind of gross.
Maybe. I don't know. I can't unsmell it now.
Well, suppose I don't know how we can be any more cautious than we already are, but I don't know where should we go? Should we just walk around and see what there is to see?
You guys, for purposes, I'll say, this red tent here that I'm pinging would be the one that you would have went behind to talk with the figure. And then otherwise, you know, you would have walked off the main thoroughfare to the tent. So you can still see the big entrance that you can easily walk back to. But I imagine for now, unless you guys say otherwise, you're still huddled around that tent.
I am gonna say, hold that thought actually, and I'm gonna try to walk out of the gate.
Sure. You turn on your heels and walk out of the gate, and you are allowed to do so.
Okay. What was that?
I was going to say, if you continue walking, you know, you leave the gate and just continue walking a little bit, you would eventually run back into that barrier which stops you.
So the barrier has not moved.
No.
That's what I was looking for. I was trying to see if it was gonna like ensnare us inside, or if we still had some movement.
You
I'd
can
return to the group and I'd say the barrier's still there, and it seems we can at least leave the carnival itself. So I don't know. There was something more sinister here. I feel like we wouldn't be able to, backtrack at all.
It seems we can't leave anyways. We may as well poke around, have some fun.
Exactly. Now I turn to Vivian. I'm sure you've never been on a Ferris wheel.
What's a Ferris wheel?
We're going to the Ferris wheel. And very confidently start walking down the way. I'm paying attention to what's around me, though.
All right, is everyone following after Matthew?
Yeah, I'll follow him. Ferris wheel.
Yep.
As you all walk deeper and further down the path, passing, other performances and, carnival goers, eventually you begin to hear the distant sound of trumpets and drums grow louder and louder. At first, it's joyous, but it melds into a cacophony of noise that is almost painful. You see that tents are being moved aside as revelers drag them back from the main pathway through the jamboree. With an explosion of fireworks, a huge, lavish cart pulled by a menagerie of animals rounds the corner of the huge red tent. On the cart is an enormous gilded cage with a gigantic antlion trapped inside. Its large, translucent wings are veined with deep green, resembling oval pieces of fractured glass. Its wings flap and beat as it dances and spins. You see acrobats swing from colorful ropes and silks around the cage as the insect screeches and bellows. All around the cart are costumed dancers and tumbling clowns. The performers grin and wave as a crowd begins to gather around you. Atop the gilded cage is a tall, humanoid figure decked out merrily in vivid reds and golds. He wears a pale, grinning mask. The figure twirls a long baton, shooting gold, glittering fireworks into the night sky. As he waves to the cloud in pirouettes, the moonlight illuminates his elegant form as if the moon were a spotlight focused only on him. You can easily tell he is without question the star of the show. And as the cart moves past your group and your section of the crowd, you see him directly turn towards your group and blow you a kiss.
Do we
Did
see
anyone
other
else
people?
See that?
Yes, there is a crowd right now. There's a whole host of people around you.
Like patrons, like people who are here not like to be entertained, not the entertainers.
Yeah,
Okay.
you've seen a bunch of people,
Okay.
buying goods or walking around. For purposes of this place, it is like a packed, like county fair, a packed carnival.
Gotcha.
Did anyone else see that? I think they were hitting on one of us.
Calamar's gonna blow a kiss back.
You see the figure atop the parade snatches it out of the air, and in his hand there is a cartoon heart, like a cartoon heart has formed within his hand, and he does an overdramatic, putting it to his heart, hand on head, fainting backwards, and then he immediately jumps back up to his feet and continues on with the parade.
Huh? He sure knows how to win some people, I guess.
Pretty impressive, honestly.
I mean, wait.
I can't move like that.
I mean, I can do that, and I minor illusion the same kind of thing in my hand.
Alright, you minor
It's just
illusion the
like-
same cartoony heart.
Yeah, just visibly worse. Like a very, an obviously unpracticed version.
Just
something,
leave it
okay?
to the professional pals. The professionals, pal.
You know, when I could have been paid to do this. Maybe in another life.
I mean, if we can't get out of here, maybe you can ask him about a job.
That's true. Okay,
So,
well,
good thing about magic. It's a very employable profession.
indeed. Okay, continue on the way.
As the parade passes you all and continues down, you can hear various oohs and ahs from the crowd. One thing that catches your ear, all of you, is some of the crowd seems to be expressing surprise at which pet is now the favorite. You hear someone in the crowd shouting, "I told you Snout's the favorite. You owe me 10 tickets, sucker!" And people are, going back and forth on the parade's looks and likeness. And as you kind of clear your way, you see a figure dressed in shabby black and white polka dot suits with scuffed red boots and a cotton candy-like hair, riding a unicycle approach you. And as they approach you, they wheel up to you and in an excited tone says, "Oh, hello, new visitors! Welcome to the Revelia. Welcome to the Jamboree. I'm Pinky. I can be your guide here to the Revelia. I can show you where places are. If you have any questions, I can answer them. Oh, it's so cool to see new friends. So cool, so rad, so awesome." And she is a non-stop bundle of just excitement and joy at seeing new faces in front of her that it would almost be a challenge to get a word in right now as she gushes at seeing new people.
I don't think we need a guide. Most of us have been to carnivals before. I think you'd be wasted on us.
A little bit of personal space would be nice. As I kind of step back away from her a little bit.
You say that, and you are met with the exact opposite. As she wheels up to you and says, "Oh, but I want to be your friend. I want to know more about you. What's your name?" And she forcefully grabs your hand and begins shaking it. "What's your name? Where'd you come from? Who are you? Let me welcome you to the Revelia."
No. And I'll spin around her on her shoulder. I'm gonna point out the first kid I see. No, see, they right there. They need the experience, not us. Wait, this is magical for them. This is just a commodity to us. Look, they need you.
You hear, as you spin her around, you hear a gruff voice coming from her pocket that it seems muffled just because it's coming from the pocket, but you could barely make out "I told you they didn't want nothing." And you hear back from Pinky saying, "Oh, you be quiet. If they don't want anything, they're not going to know how to get around. And at least let me show you to the ticket booth. You can't get around the carnival without the ticket booth. You need tickets. Let Pinky show you tickets." And
We already have tickets.
Is your pocket talking?
It's a very personal question. I'm ashamed. We have tickets.
She back and forth between Craig and Matthew, deciding who to talk to, when you see a piece of paper seemingly fly out of her pocket and into her hands, and you see this map, but the map has a mouth. And the map responds to both of you. It responds to Craig first and says, "Ah, you're damn right I'm talking.
I have a voice, I have a name, of course I can talk. And then it doesn't have eyes, but you can clearly tell it's looking, it changes its look to you, Matthew. And it says, "Oh, you dolts, you don't have tickets? You need the red tickets to be able to pay anything here in the Revelia. Just because you're invited doesn't mean you have tickets. Pinky, I thought you were taught better." And she's like swatting at the map. It says, "Oh, this is very funny considering Matthew," as she says, "Oh, you shut up, map few."
How dare you? My mother gave me that name.
And Pinky does reiterate, "But yes, you need tickets. You need to go to the ticket booth. You have to pay for anything here with our red tickets. Without them, you can't get anywhere. You can't see the amazing sights. You can't spend them at the top house. You can't pet any of our petting zoo animals without them. You have to buy food with them. You need tickets."
As she mentions going to buy tickets, I'm gonna start like patting my sides and realizing I don't have my coin purse, and I'm gonna look at Matthew and ask if he could cover the cost of my tickets.
I mean, goes without saying yes, but can I do a insight check to see if there's like a more frantic energy underneath this, or if it's just like they really are trying to sell us tickets?
Sure. $15. There's definitely something that is unnatural. There is a part that, you know, they're trying to get you. They want to guide you. They're trying to sell you tickets. They want to show you around the Revelia. They want to be your tour guide, but a little bit of it seems forced, like, you know, quote unquote forced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, tell you what, we're not really the guided tour. We're not really guided people. Can you just show us on your little Mr. Map in your pocket where we can get these tickets, and then we'll just... You can find someone who it'd be a little more engaging for them.
Actually, you don't even really have to talk. You could just let the map show us.
You could also just let the map show us.
Before you can even say you don't have to talk, she's flying into a whole spiel, and she's pointing at places on the map, poking at it, telling you like this rapid paced, you know, here's here, here's here, here's here. You know, like if you need to rest, the hostel's safe. You know, this is where you can get the ticketing booth. New guests get tickets for free. And you know, you can get food here at the food court. And all the while, you know, Map Few is like, hey, stop poking me. And
at least hearing that the hostel has been declared safe by 2 weird people now, I would like to make a note of where that is on the map.
Sure. If you guys are here, you know, you guys have walked in for a little while, the hostel would be this building.
Of course it is.
And as, you know, she finishes her spiel and points you towards the ticketing booth, you see that Pinky and Matthew like pull to the side a little bit and seemingly get into like a whispered argument. All of you can see that it's a very comedic sight. She's trying to shove him back into her pockets while Map flaps and twists dramatically to try and escape their grasp. As you kind of watch this in bewilderment, the argument seemingly ends with Craig and Matthew. Can both of you roll me a d20?
Yep.
Just flat d20, please.
I think 7 is lucky somewhere.
Oh, well, 8 is one higher. You see Matthew flies out of the hands of Pinky and lands within your hands, Craig, and says,
Hey, how's it going? Matthew, I'm gonna stay with you for a while.
as Pinky turns and, like, pouts and says, good luck with that one. Don't forget, make sure you grab your tickets! As they smile, almost like warningly, they smile and begin to ride off on their unicycle.
I was just about to ask if we could just take the map and go. I'm glad I'm glad you decided to just come to me.
I think
you should be glad. That feels more like a curse.
I think it'll be much better hanging out with your group. You seem like good people.
Don't look a gift map in the mouth, as they say. Seriously, it looks weird in there. As I'm like examining the mouth on this map.
He says, hey, if it makes you feel better, I was once human, you know. I was such a good guy that Heckna turned me into a living map. Thought it'd be a laugh and a half, and you know what? I gotta say I agree. Sure was a laugh. Gotta love that guy. What a genius.
And I kind of dropped the map as he said he was a human, and I'm like, oh.
I'm gonna catch him.
Oh, thank you.
Yep, you drop this, and I like shove it back into his hands.
Oh no. I don't want to carry around a human.
No, the map chose you.
Hey, don't worry. I feel fine about it.
That was his
All
top
right,
concern.
Where's this ticket booth at?
I want to ask though, while Craig and Matthew have been doing this, what if Fiametta, Vivian, and Calamar's reaction to this sudden unicycle and talking map have been? What have you guys been doing?
I think Vivian would just be staring at the map the whole time, like, what the heck is this thing?
Yeah, pure bewilderment. Part adoration, but mainly confused and what the whole time.
When Pinky shows up, Calamar takes a few steps back, looks very hesitant to be around that person, and then the map thing, he's just kind of observing it quietly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. As you
Probably also looking at his surroundings to see if he can see anything or notice anything interesting.
Okay. Do you want to give me a perception?
Yes. Oh.
Yeah, unfortunate. I mean, you notice the regular goings-on of a carnival.
Wow, it's a carnival.
Yeah, this carnival is in fact a carnival. Who knew? But as you guys grab the map and head your way towards the ticketing booth, you do find your way towards a crowd that is seemingly surrounding a red velvet booth, denoted by a carved wooden sign that reads, "Get your tickets here." In front of the booth is a fountain spewing water droplets that are shaped like tickets. The people in the crowd are dressed in wild, colorful clothing. They are conversing with one another loudly, laughing and shouting. Eventually, the line moves forward, and you see operating the booth is a doll-like person wearing a frilly pink dress, blonde hair and tight ringlets, and strings of red tickets are attached to her limbs and clothing. The marionette pulls out strings of tickets, folds them up, and hands them to the people in line before you. With tickets in hand, you see they head off into the carnival proper with whoops and cheers. As the operator turns to you and beckons you forward, oh, this is going to be great, with, as they say, "Rally Rune vor Revelia, where beans smorky oozent a bunderboon. You must have come here for your free ducats." Otherwise, how are you going to pay for all your lovely thingamabobs? As her mouth hangs open in a wide, puppet-like grin as she waits for a response.
Did any of you understand that? Because I definitely did not understand any of that.
Something about tickets.
Definitely said something about free tickets. I want free tickets.
As you step up, the little marionette named Polly unfolds several booklets of tickets and hands them to each of you.
Any chance we can get an extra one for the kid? It's her birthday after all. She turned 6 today.
Give me...
Staring at this marionette, all excited to have someone else that kind of looks like her.
Give me a... persuasion. So, all of you get your ticket booklets. They are 10 red tickets. For purposes of going forward, treat your tickets as coin. Your red tickets are how you will be buying things here in the Revelia. As they hand the booklets, so each of you get a booklet of 10 red tickets. She kind of like fritzes out for a second and goes back to her original programming as, say, hey, can we get extra tickets for the little one? As she, says, oh, sillies, you already got your tickets. You'll have to go and ask Heckna if you want more.
Even for the little birthday girl?
Whee!
You see she seemingly begins repeating the sentence. And she goes into this spiel of, but if you want to earn more, the Midway games are always a good place to get. Offer up some tickets, make more tickets if you win.
I'm just gonna look at her in disgust as she denied this little girl her tickets and walk away.
And as you're walking away, you hear like when the voice comes over an overcom saying something very clearly like corporate. Her voice drops into that and goes, and remember, all tickets are required to buy food, pay for accommodation, and play games in the Midway. Do enjoy your day at the Revelia.
Well,
I want to look up. Is it still nighttime?
Yes, there is still the overcast of nighttime. It's not raining. You can see there's no rain, but it is very clearly, you saw the moonlight shine over that jester-like figure in the parade. It is definitely still night.
Gotcha.
What would you like to do?
Alright, where do you want to go first, Vivian, as I pull out the map for the map to spew off the fun things for her to go do?
I want to go see what the Paris wheels is that Matthew was talking about.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about the Ferris wheel.
As you bring that up, Map View starts saying, I wouldn't get so excited about that yet, folks. Good old Heckna there has complete control over this place. He probably won't let you there until you deem yourself worthy.
Is the Ferris wheel super cool?
Why is that what you're caught up about? What do you mean worthy?
Oh, it's just something the big man likes to partake upon new visitors. You can't visit certain places until you prove that you're willing to have a good time here in the Revelia.
Well, I feel like the being cool question's relevant as well, because I'm not going to go through the hassle of proving myself if it's not a cool Ferris wheel.
Exactly.
I'm not a big fan of heights.
So yes, it's super cool.
Yeah, sure.
But you just don't like heights.
I like remaining right here where I am.
Well, you
Is it because
realize
it's
when we
breezy?
go on it later, you're going to be on it with us, right?
We'll see about that.
I guess we will. As I shove it back in my pocket real fast.
You just hear muffled shouting.
All right, well, I guess...
Wait, so some of our tickets aren't good? Where should we go?
Oh yeah, I don't even know what's fun around here. I'll pull the map back out.
Oh, now I'm important again, huh?
Yeah, so if we can't go do that, what can we do?
Well, there are plenty of games at the Midway that you can partake in. I'm sure you can find some fun there.
Is that it? That's the option?
That's an option.
Well, you say it's an option, but you've only listed one option.
Well, it depends on what you like. If you like to play games and try your luck, you're at the Midway. If you want to visit some wacky places, the Hostile Hostel waits for you. If you want to try and collect some random crap and junk, go to the Lost and Found.
What all games are there?
Like games of skill?
You get this, like, if Matthew could point, he'd be pointing right now, as he points to the map that just has, exactly what you're seeing. There's no names on it. And he says,
And now does it look like I know the exact games?
What was your favorite when you were a human?
The one I remember, Dead Ringer. That was always a fun one.
Oh, maybe this carnival isn't nice, guys.
What did you say? That's out of character. I actually didn't hear you.
Dead Ringer. Unless
Dead
you were
Ringer.
talking. Yeah, that's the name of the game.
Okay.
How long ago were you turned into a map?
Well,
Do maps age differently than humans?
I've been helping people find their way for quite a while now, so... At least for some time.
Like
of course.
more or less than 50 days.
Probably more.
Has it never turned day? Is like the carnival at night always?
Give me a persuasion.
Fiametta looks excited at the prospect of always night.
Does this thing even have eyes as I start looking around?
Oh no, it's just a
Looking over
mouth.
the map.
It's just
15.
the mouth. 15. He says back to you.
Heckna likes how the moon looks upon himself when he struts about. So that moon,
And he does look up. He just doesn't have eyes to look up. Says,
that moon there, stays up all throughout the carnival. Sometimes it changes, sometimes it
stays the same. And currently it's like a half moon, like a crescent.
It all depends on how Heckna's feeling for the day. That's what I was telling you about, his utter control over this place.
So what is he, like a werewolf?
He's the ringmaster. He's the one who runs the Revelia.
I'm just confused what the moon's got to do with it. That's all.
He likes the
Fair enough.
spotlight.
Have you ever guided
that
someone
That makes sense.
out of here?
Mapview starts laughing like, "Oh, why would I ever do that? Everyone who comes here wants to stay. It's fun. No one wants to leave. Why would you ever want to leave the Revelia? You're almost as good a jokester as Heckna."
Do you think Heckna would be happy if he heard that?
Well, I'm already a map. There's not much more you can do.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
We could bring you with us if we leave, though.
He hits you with the exact same thing when you were talking about the Ferris wheel. He hits you with it. Well, we'll see about that.
Okay, well, our options are weird game or weird house. Anyone have any preferences?
Games?
I guess games.
I'd like to play games also.
Easy jigsaw. Okay, well,
Woo! Carnival games! And I'm
Map,
gonna
take
start
us
full
to the
sprinting the
games.
wrong way.
You start going the wrong way and you immediately get, no, the other way.
Woo! Games! As I run the other way.
You guys begin making your way to the Midway, where you can see before you. I'm going to move us a map. Hopefully you all can see this map.
I see it.
A whole host of different booths and setups for different games. There's a bunch of carnival goers around. And it seems just like a good, grand old time. Ooh, I need to change these guys' names. As you approach map view, with one edge of his map points out a booth. This one here, you can see a dwarf woman in bright colors, seems to be working the booth, and he says, that one there's my favorite. That's Dead Ringer.
I'll
Which one?
tentatively walk to Deadringer. He said it was this one over here. Which one?
This one right here.
Our follow.
And as you walk up, you see the game proper. You see disembodied hands of various sizes, shapes, and colors sit in a row on a wooden table. Their fingers wriggling slightly. Sitting on the side of this booth is a dwarven woman with a luxurious beard threaded with ribbons and little sculptures of various foods. As you approach, she sees you all and says, "Oh, welcome to my game. Welcome to Dead Ringer. If you'd like to play, it is one red ticket for 10 rings. All you have to do is throw as many rings as possible onto the fingers of the hands."
Can I tell? I assume the hands are real. Can I tell what they're from?
Give me a
I'm gonna say survival or medicine.
Okay, they're both awful. Survival. Ah! Natural 19, 20 total.
One of the hands, or maybe like two of the hands, are definitely human. You see a very furry-looking hand that you could probably make out to be a bugbear. And there seems to be two smaller hands, likely that of maybe gnome and goblin.
Well, I could try. I'm not super good at throwing things. But what's the worst that could happen?
Well,
And she'll gladly present a ticket.
if anyone wants to play, it is 1 red ticket for 10 rings.
Oh, when in Rome. No. Pull out a ticket as well.
All right. The other three of you watching the game?
Yeah.
All right.
9. All right.
So, the way this works, you have 10 rings, so you have 10 chances. For each successful ring on a finger, you gain 1 red ticket back. The way this works, for each ring thrown, you're going to roll 2d6. If the result is the same on both dice, the ring successfully lands on a finger.
Oh.
If you have proficiency in sleight of hand, you roll 2d4 instead.
Yeah, I got that.
I don't either.
So you each have
That is a bummer.
10 tries. So if you want to roll your first set of 2d6, both of you.
Sure, here we go. Nope.
Miss! We'll count down. So that's your 10th. We'll go to your 9th throw. Or we'll go up. So that's your 2nd throw, 3rd throw. 4th throw.
I don't like this game.
Are these magic rings?
Yeah, it's rigged. Was that 5?
That was 4. This is 4 on 5 now.
Okay. Brother.
Fiametta, you... Oh, no. Yeah, Fiametta, you land a ring. You throw a ring and land it on one of the fingers. Alright, so...
Which finger?
We'll say the middle finger. 6th roll.
The one I just rolled was my 6th.
So, Fiametta, give me a
6th.
roll.
No.
Miss. 7th roll.
It's so
8th roll.
close.
Come on.
No.
9th roll. And last but not least, your 10th roll.
Yay!
Oh, snap!
Hey.
So what happens? So you throw the rings. Both of you are able to land your last throw. And as you do so, you are given your rewards. Fiametta, you are given 2 tickets. You are paid back your initial, and then gain 1 extra. Matthew, you are paid back your initial ticket. And as the rings are thrown and you are given out your rewards, so I believe Fiametta, you're up to 11. Matthew, you're back to 10. As you are given your tickets, the ring of the hand that you threw your 2 rings on, Fiametta, breaks free and comes charging at you. And we're going to have our first initiative of the campaign.
Okay, yeah.
18.
Alright, let me roll for my creepy crawly. Let's see, we are missing Vivian.
Oh, there it is. I was looking for the button.
Who has higher dexterity, Matthew or Vivian?
Probably Vivian. I have one.
Vivian.
That big number? That's
Oh,
on the
no,
top?
it is. You guys share a dexterity score of 1, so both of you decide who would like to go first.
You can go first, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm closer, so
All right.
probably would react quicker.
And as a reminder, these maps do not have grids, because they're being weird, so we're just gonna just use your imagination. You can still measure stuff out. It's just weird.
Rich mid.
You do see most of the people around you do like back up as this happens.
That was going to be the first thing I asked. Okay, so it's charging at him.
Yep. Is it on the ground or is it like jumping? It is jumped onto the ground.
Okay. I'm just gonna walk up and like try to step on it.
Okay.
Just a big old curb stomp. So that's just a... Oh man, I don't have unarmed strike. Was it a D4?
Yeah, I think that would be a D20 plus your strength modifier, and then D4's worth of damage.
That plus 3.
That will hit, and then it's
19.
a D4's of damage, yeah, I believe. Well, hey, you stomp on it. You stomp on it, and like a spider, you know, it does that curl up for a second, and then immediately spins right back to life.
What the fuck? And I like step back.
Okay. I'll say just, due to the grid, you can step back and not have taken you'll still be within its threat range. You won't have taken opportunity attack. If that is all from you...
Yeah, that's my turn.
Vivian, this creepy, crawly spider hand is charging at Fiametta.
I think she tried to hit it with her sling.
Okay. A 9. That misses. You go to launch this rock, and it just goes right over the creature.
Dang.
Would you like to do anything else?
No, I guess that's it.
All right. Craig.
I will run up on this hand and try to take a slash at it with my sword.
A 10 misses. This is a very wily creature. And it
Hold
just
still, you.
it just jumps out of the way and lands on its fingertips from your swing. Fiametta.
Everyone has gotten very close to me very fast. Fiametta will kind of flap her wings a bit and fly away as much as she can, but knowing that it's really close. And have you ever seen an atlatl be used? That's how she kind of holds her staff and the lamp glows and she throws a little ball of fire at the ground in front of her. And I'm going to manifest Scorch in front of me, which does go straight into the tent, I would like to say. But everyone's standing right in front of me, so she's not the smartest.
Is this thing flanked right now?
I'd say yes, but even then, Craig rolled a 10 and a 9.
Oh, yeah. I was just
Okay,
wondering.
let's see if I coded everything right. No. So it's got to make a 15 dex save.
15
We'll take 7
dex
fire damage.
save. That's a nat 20.
Okay. Well, it nimbly hops out of the way, but now the whole
It does take
tent
half.
has yes.
And we round up here.
And then did I?
You blast the creepy crawly with the fire, and it goes up in flames and dies. And as...
I don't...
Hmm?
Oh, there we go. Never mind. I'm good. I didn't see the thing.
As the tent kind of bursts into a little bit, a bunch of people go and douse it with water. Eventually, it's not quick or it's not slow. It very quickly gets put out. And you see the dwarven booth owner doesn't seem all that annoyed. She seems more annoyed that one of the creepy crawlies got loose, as she kind of just sighs, and you see her reach into a bucket, pull out another dismembered hand, and glue it back onto the place where the other hand broke free.
Hey, lady, what was that all about?
Oh, sometimes they get a little rowdy. It's just how it is.
What do you mean? You don't have control over your enchantments?
You must have done something to upset that one. They usually like being here.
We played the game.
As she she goes to shrug, and as she shrugs, what's everyone's passive? Actually, you know what? Calamar. You notice that while the others are, focusing on this, since you're the furthest one back, you notice that a crowd begins to form, and a lot of people begin looking down the pathway beyond you, towards this way.
Just kind of join in on the crowd to see if I can see anything.
While the others are busy, you do notice, you see from this crowd, this dense crowd, a very tall and slender male figure. The same figure you previously saw leading the parade. He's dressed very elegantly, wearing a horned jester's hat as if it were a crown. He is decked out in rich reds and a suit made of stars that spin and swirl with myriad galaxies. You recognize the mask carved into a wide smile from all the posters and from leading the parade itself. Before you is Heckna himself. And you see the crowd immediately begins to clap and beam as he bows and greets everyone. Some people cheer and clap, some screech out laughter, but all of them have a hint of over-eager desperation. You see Heckna's eyes, barely visible through the mask, linger over the crowds as if blessing them. Then his gaze lands upon you and the rest of your group as he points a comically large mallet that bears the model of his own masked face, and the crowd separates, leaving a clear path towards all of you. And all of you hear it from behind you. Calamar, you see it clearly as you hear as they approach. Aha! Here they are, newest guests! How good of you to come to my little old carnival. I do hope you're having fun. We're all having fun here, aren't we? As the rest of the crowd bursts into cheering.
I guess since excuse me. I guess since Calamar is the closest, he just kind of a little bit nervous. He's like, "Oh yes, we are having a lot of fun."
That is such wonderful to hear. And they prepare to go to a bow as they say,
Allow me to properly introduce myself. I am Heckna, the host with the most, the ringmaster of this Revelia. And they go into a bow. And, Kalmar, can you give me a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage, please?
Yep. It's been a while since I've done D&D stuff. How do you get it to roll with disadvantage?
Control?
Control?
Think so.
Okay. And I'm sorry, what's
Dexterity.
dexterity? Okay.
Dexterity saving throw.
There.
A 9. So for anyone paying attention, anyone watching, what happens is, as they go into this bow, Calamar, you are suddenly hit in the face with a custard pie. As part of this bow. And Heckna, as Heckna does this, they look back up at you, your face, the Three Stooges covered in pie, and they come up to you and say, oh, my apologies, please take this. And they start bringing a handkerchief out of their pocket, which just keeps coming and coming, and kind of just, like, the handkerchief just keeps going non-stop, and they say, if you're impressed with the size of my hankies, wait until you see the size of my feetsies. As they continue pulling on the handkerchief until it's the size of a large tablecloth that they just drape over you, attempting to clean you with it. But as they wipe you down, they, you realize that you're more filthy than you were before, as they say, oh dear, I must have let Snout blow his nose in this one, terribly sorry. Before finally you see them press a smiley-faced badge pin on their suit, which unleashes a torrent of water over you, completely drenching you, as they say, oh, now, no need for the waterworks. The Revelia is the funnest place you could ever hope to be, and I'm so happy you're here with all of us. You'll be a proper part of the carnival before you know it. And he says that to the whole group, not just Calamar, as people around you are clapping and cheering.
Viametta's clapping too.
Craig is laughing at Calamar. Not clapping, but he's laughing at the whole ordeal. Glad that he wasn't closer.
Which I'm gonna walk up to Calamar and start using prestidigitation to clean the stuff off.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Calamar's just kind of standing there like,
You can definitely clean the rest off while, most of it was cleaned off from the absolute torrent of water, but you are able to prestidigitate whatever remains off.
Yeah, clear the bits and then start, ripping the water off and, fixing their hair and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That was some good magic, but, I wonder what do we need to do when we're ready to go home? I've upset him.
Yeah, I'm gonna set my hand on your shoulder and be like, maybe we shouldn't be asking direct questions like that to this guy.
He chuckles and kind of
sent to ask him.
he kind of brushes it off and says, oh, but why would you ever want to go home when there's so much fun to be had here in the Revelia? Just look at the many games around me. A dunk tank, even. Why don't one of you step up and get in? Or there's so much joy here. You haven't even been to the petting zoo. Oh, one of my favorites. And he, hand over heart and swoons a little bit. Truly, why would you want to go home when there's so much joy to be had? And, you haven't even seen the half of it. Only those with spines stick around to get invited. The Tunnel of Love, my fun house. Oh, you've not yet earned the honor. But if you try, before I give you my say-so, and he kind of wags his finger in a jovial tone, You'll just walk through it like mist. Oh, but I'm sure you'll get into the spirit of things soon enough. You'll even forget about wanting to go home, and you'll be running wild and free all over my wondrous carnival before you even know it. And he is very much like, it is very much playing up gestures, you know, he is moving his body around, you know, just playing up the whole, you know, selling you to the carnival.
Well, I could understand wanting to be here forever, but what about we've met a few individuals who don't really seem to, they seem to be ready to be home. What do they have to do?
Oh, they're just a bunch of party poopers, I say. They'll find their joy and happiness eventually. Everyone give me insight checks. Matthew, you got the highest. As he says this, he goes into reaching into his pouch. Or, no, he doesn't go reaching into his pouch. He goes into this manner of, like, you know, pushing you along, like, getting this conversation done with. You know, not wanting any more questions to be had. As he does reach into his pouch, and you see a bunch of red tickets go flying as people scramble for them. And he looks at your group and says, "Why don't you enjoy but one of the more many games here in the Midway? It's on the Fun House. Go on, you look like you could be using so much more fun and having such a wonderful time. Enjoy yourself here in Heckna's Revelia." And as it kind of turns into, like, you know, one of those Assassin's Creed crowds when you drop the coins and everyone gathers, he takes that time to walk away and disappear into the further carnival.
He's funny.
In conclusion, this is not a good place anymore. But it appears the only way to leave is to play his games.
Well, I mean, we both won the last one. Shouldn't be that bad, right?
Was that winning? We got into a fight with a hand.
Oh, well, that wasn't part of the game, though.
Maybe. Do we actually see the tentacles out in the dunk pool?
No, those would not be there.
Okay. What do we see the other ones to be?
So as you look around, you see Dead Ringer, which you've already participated in. You see the dunk tank. You see one of those, you know, mallet games. You know, swing the mallet, hit the bell, which is over here. Except where the bell is, instead it's one of Heckna's masks at the top. Over here, on the top, you see one of those water games, you know, where you shoot water into the clown's mouth. Give me a perception, Matthew. Okay, yeah. Clowns, the clown, you know, shoot the water in the clown's mouth. And then down here, Calamar, you know, you're at the Heckna puck game. Down here, it is what appears to be a sign that says, "Pin the flail on the donkey."
Well, that sounds awful. Craig, you want to do the hammer? What could go wrong with that?
So there's pin the flail on the donkey, pop goes the clown, hit me Heckna, and Duncan do not, which is the name of the dunk tank.
Yeah, Craig, want to go swing a hammer?
Yeah, I'll go whack Heckna.
That seems to be the least likely to be catastrophic.
What's the worst that could happen?
All right.
All right. You walk up, and you see a tautly muscled pale blue tiefling with a small crown perched in her short but curly hair, swinging this massive hammer with ease. A narrow pole painted with rainbow stripes stretches up behind her, with a large red button at its foot. The top of the pole holds a sneering mask. Lights dance around its edges as the mask taunts you guys as you approach, and it says, "What, you think you're strong enough to hit me? Maybe when a chug-a-hoo poppies the doggus." Just checking. You don't really want to hit Heckna, do you? Ooh, do you? I'll tell him right now. I'm waiting. I'm so hungry for that hit. Give me that hit. Give me a little top. See where it goes.
Give you some what?
I meant to say tap. And if you step up to play the game, first play, the tiefling tells you, first play's free.
Free! I love free things!
And if you step up and grab the mallet, what is your strength, Craig?
13.
Alright. You are able to pick it up with ease. To hit the mask, you must succeed on an athletics check to strike the button hard enough. So roll me your athletics. You hit the puck, and it goes barely up. As it lands back down, the mask starts laughing. It goes, "Oh, that's all you got!"
Oh, that was a fluke. That was a fluke. Here, take a ticket. I'm going again.
All right. As you say, take a ticket. The tiefling named Ina Mina says, actually, 2 tickets for a second game.
Whoa! 2 tickets. What do I get for winning again?
If you hit it, you get 3.
Oh, that doesn't seem like a very good return on investment to me.
That's not very good. I had this move pulled on me in the club once.
I think I'm gonna hold on to my ticket on second thought.
She looks at you, says, "Or we can make it interesting. Give me 2 tickets, and you face me. If you win, you get 5 back. If you lose, you get nothing."
I've definitely had that one on me before. Do not do that.
I'm gonna take the advice of a friend here, and I'm just gonna go. Maybe Vivian wants to give it a try.
Yeah. I think I have a free try now.
I don't know if Vivian can pick up the mallet.
It'll be funny to watch you try.
Well, anyone who wants to try.
Craig, who do you hand the mallet off to?
I try to hand it to Vivian as I tell her it'll be funny to watch her try.
What is Vivian's strength?
8.
It is very heavy. If you try and swing it, you will have disadvantage.
It's a free attempt.
Yeah, I'll try. Might as well try once. How do I, am I rolling strength? How do I do that?
Athletics.
Athletics, I mean.
Just click it and we'll take the lowest.
Okay.
12. You get your free shot, you swing it up, and again, the mask starts laughing and chuckling at you. And it actually addresses Craig and says, "Oh, you'd really let a child try this? Who are you? Oh, so evil."
She almost did better than me.
Hey, that was a pretty good swing, though. My turn. Take the hammer.
Alright.
And
If your strength is lower than a 10, it's at disadvantage.
definitely is not. Athletics.
21! You swing it down, and it goes up. The mask screams a loud yelp as from its mouth spits out 3 tickets. And as it does so and you're able to get them, Inamina looks at you and says, well, you wanna maybe make some more? 2 tickets, win 5. Just gotta face me. She kind of like shoulders you. Come on, you know you wanna. More tickets, more goods. More tickets, more games.
I'm already plus a couple. Yeah, I'll take you up on that.
All right, 2 tickets.
Matthew's a gambling man.
2 tickets.
I mean,
And
even if I lose, I walk away with more than I came up with.
2 tickets, and roll your athletics, and then she'll step up and roll hers.
She's about to have like a plus 10.
All right, you get a 19. You swing it up. I'll roll for hers. She gets a 14. You are able to beat her, and she gives you the 5 tickets. And she actually has a smile on her face. She doesn't seem all too upset at having lost, as she says, "Oh, strong one, eh? I'll make sure to tell Heckna and my friend Sean how strong you are. Get you in good with them."
Who's Sean?
Oh, just my buddy, Sean Smith, one of the many clique leaders here in the Revelia. He's a good person to know, and if he knows you're strong, he'll respect you, as he respects me.
It's a clique leader.
Like, you know, like clique, like CLIQUE, like high school cliques.
Oh, I know. I'm just asking her like what that means in the context of the carnival.
Right. She turns you around and points to these guys and says, "You see those guys over there? The ones in the tank tops? The ones who look nice and strong? Those are members of Sean's clique there. The cliques, there are various cliques here found in the Revelia. You can consider them security almost. Some of them run different parts of the Revelia. Sean Smith runs his right out of the food court."
Okay. Thanks, I think. And I kind of turn away to the rest of the group. Well, I have more tickets now.
There's a
That was
donkey
really
you
impressive.
can go flail.
It's all in the momentum, right?
Good follow through.
Yeah. You got to swing through. You got to swing through. You don't swing
That
at
was
it.
my issue. Yeah, I was just swinging at it.
I mean, you can try again. I played her game and I didn't die. I think it's just a one-on-one competition.
Hmm.
I want to go to the dunk tank.
Yeah, let's go to the dunk tank.
All right. You head to the dunk tank. You see a glass tank filled with dark purple slimy water sits beneath a crude scaffolding. A regal but damp chair is suspended above the tank. Attached to the chair are a long wooden arm and a target pointed with the laughing face of a clown. A beautiful half-orc, right here, woman in a slinky dress sits on a little stool, idly throwing a handful of popcorn up into the tank. As you approach Puddles, the half-orc says, "Welcome to Dunkin' Do Not. You want to take part?"
Sure. Do I see anybody in the dunk tank? I see throwing the. Did you say popcorn into it?
Yep. Give me a perception. No, seems empty. And as she sees you looking at it, she says, "You know, you'll get, it's 1 red ticket for 3 balls, free for the volunteer, but volunteer sits on the chair, gets 3 tickets back, whether they get dunked or not. So, if you want to play, I would highly encourage one of your own to sit on that chair."
3 tickets, I volunteer. As I scramble up towards the front.
Alright, you can go and get settled on the chair in the middle of the murky water. And it's one red ticket for 3 throws.
I'll present a ticket.
Alright. She takes the ticket. It is to hit it. It is a straight strength, or straight dexterity check. And this is just, at this point, it's RP between you guys. This is a game for you guys. Craig's in the seat. Does Craig do any, what's the word, hassling the party, going, "Oh, you can't throw that, you're too weak." It's,
Yeah, which one of y'all weaklings is gonna try to knock me off the pool or off this pedestal? Come on.
Fiametta grabs the ball. It looks a little dejected at it. Gives it a big old throw. And I rolled a 10, so a 13.
The 13 plinks the sign and does not dunk Craig, but you do have 2 more.
You throw like Vivian!
Vivian's gonna gasp and.
He didn't mean that.
That's a little better.
He's just trying to get in her head.
A 16, you throw the next one. Again, it plinks. There's just not enough force behind it.
I'm like sticking down, or hanging down, twiddling my finger in the water. It's like, the only way I'm gonna get wet right here.
She gives it her all.
You give it your all. You throw the last ball. It plinks against the sign. And Craig does not fall in. But Puddles, the half-orc, does say, "Well, it was a good enough try." And Craig, you're able to come out of the dunk tank, and you are given 3 red tickets for just participating and being the volunteer.
Easy money.
You're not gonna let you're not gonna let Vivian make you eat your words?
Yeah, hop back up there. I think Vivian needs a couple tosses at this.
No one else wants 3 free tickets?
No, you
I'll
were
go
so
back.
good at it.
I'll go back. Yeah.
Oh, brave one. Okay. Vivian, are you paying the 1 red ticket?
Yeah, I'll pay the ticket.
Alright, you pay the ticket. You can do straight dexterity or straight strength. Whatever's better for you.
Dexterity.
The 4 first throw doesn't even hit the sign. It just hits the grass.
Just a little higher. Just a little higher. You got this. You got this. This is the one.
Maybe she can't throw harder than you.
The second throw, it lands a little bit further.
Oh, last try.
I kind of feel bad now.
Vivian's got her serious face
Yeah,
on.
you should bullying a child.
Oh my god!
Ah!
Oh my god.
After failing the first 2 times, she's gonna take a deep breath and be like, And just throw it with everything she's got.
As you throw this ball with everything you got, that is amazing. I'm so happy that happened. I was rooting for you. You throw it with force. It slams into the little bullseye, and Craig, you go dipping down into the water. I'm gonna put on different music for a reason. You go dipping down into the water. And we're going to go with Craig for a second here. To everyone else, Craig disappears into the water.
Yeah, Matthew jumps
very
up and
excited.
immediately lifts Vivian up and puts her on his head and starts bouncing around cheering.
While that's happening, Craig, you get dunked into the water. Maybe mid-taunt, you feel the water rush over you. You're not in a tank anymore. You find yourself floating in the middle of what you can only describe as an endless primeval ocean. And you feel something tug on your leg. And for purposes, I am going to have a initiative order. Craig, please roll initiative. Because as you feel this tug on your leg, you look into this dark water and see this massive, multi-legged, tentacled octopus come at you and try and, well, simply drown you. And all the while everyone else is celebrating on the top, you don't even see it happening. The Arms of Plenty, as it is rightfully called, is going to strike out at you with its tentacles. Which is a 9. Which I would hope misses you.
Yeah, it does not hit.
Craig, you're up. You see this massive aberration dragging you deeper into this primeval ocean.
And there's no way that I see to escape or get out. Or
You can roll me a perception. You see nothing but ocean.
I'm just gonna try to swim the opposite direction of it. I wouldn't try to fight it underwater, I don't think.
Alright. As you try and swim away from it, it is going to try and lash out at you with its tentacles. For a 25.
Yeah, that hits.
For 16 bludgeoning damage. Which I believe puts you under.
Mm-hmm.
But don't worry. You will be left at 1 HP. Because what happens is, almost as quickly as you went under, everyone else, as you guys are celebrating, you see Puddles reach into the tank, and Craig, you are brought back to life as you feel this, someone pounding on your chest, and everyone else sees this as Craig, you come to spitting up a holy buttload of water on the ground before you. And Puddles, the half-orc, kind of just nonchalantly, ignores what just happened, or just, isn't taking it as seriously as she says, well, that's what happens when you taunt too much there, buddy, and slides you another 3 tokens, and then walks up to Vivian and says, you got a good arm on you there, kid, and hands you 3 tokens, or 3 red tickets, Vivian.
She'll take them super excitedly.
All the while, Craig is spitting up water in the background.
How about
laughing at
3 extras for almost dying?
Almost dying. Talking all that shit and you can't swim?
Everyone knows hobgoblins can't swim.
Disappointing.
Give me... You know what? No, I'm just gonna let this play out. Because I think Puddles would look at you and says, "Oh, that's what happens when you take the stand there, buddy. We are not held liable."
I know there's a freaking monster in the tank.
A what?
The freaking giant, like, tentacle monster down there. That's what killed me. Almost killed me. Y'all were all up here celebrating my death.
I'm confused. Did you die?
I think? I don't know. Did I die?
You definitely... Your lights definitely went out. But just as quickly as they went out, you came back.
I'm gonna, like, go and, like, hop up and just, like, look in.
Give me a perception.
I'm gonna go, like, grab his feet as he's leaning over the edge of this tank.
And in.
Yeah, just flip me right in.
You just see the dark water.
Well, I don't know what you saw in there, but nothing's yoinking me in.
Oh, why don't you get up there and let me throw the ball at the sign then?
You know what? I will. Boom.
Alright. It's, you know the deal. 1 ticket for the 3 balls.
Shut up and take my tickets.
It's either dexterity, straight dex, or straight strength.
We're gonna go strength.
You throw the ball and it lands. You do not make it. You remember where Vivian threw the first ball and, it barely made it forward? You throw this ball and it, like, lands maybe, like, just a couple inches directly in front of you.
It's okay. They're a little heavier than you expect. Everyone needs at least one to zero in.
Been a while since I played gob ball with the family, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The second one hits, and we're gonna streamline this. Matthew, you feel yourself go under the water, and
everyone look, watch.
And if everyone pays attention, you don't see Matthew in the water. Disappeared. Matthew, you are in this primeval ocean, and to simplify things, you are grabbed and essentially strangled by this giant octopus before you two are eventually dragged out, given the Heimlich, and left at 1 HP.
Kind of stand up. I'm like, I don't want to play that game anymore.
But each of you are given 3 tokens, so 3 red tickets each.
Did you see the monster?
Yeah. It was awful. It was kind of like a big octopus, except worse in every way.
Every single way.
Every single way.
I'm not sure if Vivian would know what an octopus is, to be honest.
After giving you the tokens,
this, and I would cast minor illusion of a tiny octopus.
So a little like illusion of an octopus appears in Matthew's hand.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Yes,
like
they're normally
bigger
very
and trying to
friendly and
kill
very
us.
cool. But this one drowned us.
He
And
looks squishy.
and while you guys are saying, "Oh, this one drowned us," you see Puddles, the half orc, just goes back to like barking the game at other revelers, and
I see why they pay for volunteers then.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I see why they don't have why they don't employ someone to do that. I'm sure that is a hard job to make someone keep to keep employed.
I'm
Job
assuming
retention
you
for that
feel as
position
shitty
must
as
be
I do. We
horrible.
should. Oh, can we get some? Can we get heals? Can we get some heals?
Yeah, I have. Where's my thing at? Where? Can't find my stuff. Oh, there it is. I have cure wounds. I'm gonna cast it on Matthew. Oh no.
I can heal Craig.
see, let me look at your sheet, Vivian. Your cure wounds is a D8 plus 2. So that's 11 healing towards Craig. And then 4 healing to Matthew.
Sweet. Ah, didn't say. Hi. There we go. Woohoo! I'm halfway there.
Living on a prayer.
Okay. This place kind of sucks. And the very first guy directed us to the hostel. So I think we might need to go there next.
No one wants to flail a donkey.
For many reasons, no.
I kind of like to.
I'm at least interested to see what it's about. I mean,
Y'all are sick.
you
So
never
am I.
played
We've
flail the
already
donkey
said it
in your
100
village?
times. What's the
So-
worst that could happen?
We could find another scary monster.
Well, yeah, but I kind of like the mystery of it.
Yeah, it can't be worse than Infinite Ocean with big monsters.
We used to stone any animal we could capture back at the when I was with the tribe, you know.
I don't, but I'll take your word for it.
Alright. You guys find
the
your
donkey.
way to pin the flail on the donkey. You see a large cage covered in a heavy red velvet cloth as it shakes and rattles as a discordant braying sound rings out. The cage sits in the middle of a rickety corral, as leaning against the cage and paying no heed to the noise is a half-elf digging something out of their ear with grim determination.
Do you need help with that?
They look at you and kind of just nonchalantly say, 1 ticket for participation, minimum of 3 participants to play.
Fiametta gladly holds out her ticket.
Takes it,
Looking
says,
to the other ones.
yeah, takes it. The ticket says that's 1.
I'll hand her a ticket as well.
Adds 2.
What about you, Vivian? You want to flail a donkey?
Yeah, Vivian will hand her a ticket. Or them a ticket.
Alright, that's 3. And this figure will hand you 3 flails, with the flail itself looking like a carrot with spikes sticking out of it. And they throw off the cloth as you see this creature that resembles a donkey. However, it has 7 legs, 6 eyes, and all 6 eyes are filled with fury. As this figure, Gurg, says, "Oh, the aspen's all bray and no bite, and a right proper coward, really, if you give it a good bo peep." The way this is going to work is the 3 of you are going to give me athletics, is what's going to happen. The donkey is going to be let loose, and it's going to be 3 rounds of 3 athletics. If all 3 of you fail your athletics, the donkey gets an attack off on one of you at random. If at least one of you succeeds your athletics on all 3 rounds, you're able to corral the donkey back into the cage. So, round 1. Athletics from all 3 of you, please.
We got this.
Alright. You are able to... The other 2 have some struggles, but Fiametta, you're able to kind of corral it in a certain direction, avoiding attacks. Second round.
This isn't the same thing that we'd call donkey flailing back home.
Alright, you guys are able to get the second round. Third round. And I do want to say, the entire time, the way you guys are corralling this as part of the game is you are hitting the donkey with the flails to send it in a certain direction. You
So
are
mean.
You are
Here we go.
very much hitting this donkey, yeah.
No!
Vivian's gonna look away as she's throwing it.
Okay. The donkey is going to get a hit. I'm going to roll a d6. 1 to 2 will be Craig. 3 to 4 will be Fiametta. 5 to 6 will be Vivian. It's gonna hit Craig, or try to hit Craig.
Naturally.
With its back kick. It's gonna try and hit you with its hooves. For a 23. You get slammed in the chest for 4 points of damage. As you get the wind knocked out of you a little bit, go for athletics again. Vivian, Fiametta.
My bad.
I thought I hit it. Sorry. There we go. Hey!
Alright. You guys are able to corral it back into the pen. And as you do so, coming out maybe slightly bruised, at least one of you, each of you are given 3 red tickets as the reward.
Oh, that was
done, everyone.
barbaric.
Yeah, that was really mean, but we did it!
My ticket count so far. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I'm impressed, everyone. We did really good.
Does Calamar want to play
Show
any
that
games, or are you
donkey
getting kind of turned off by them?
Which one was like the water squirty thing?
That one was up here.
Yeah, I'd like to do that one.
All right. You step up for... Where was the name of it? For Pop Goes the Clown.
Up goes the clown.
Sticking out of holes in a long wooden countertop are 5 clown heads. Their mouths stretched open by wooden contraptions, and next to each face is a grotesque, half-inflated balloon in the shape of Heckna's head, as water guns are bolted to the ground in front of the clown heads. The way this will work is it is one red ticket to participate. A minimum of 2 participators is needed.
Okay.
If any other party members step up.
Yeah, I'll give them a ticket.
All right. Any other party members stepping up? If not, one of the other revelers will step up to challenge.
Join.
Fiametta's joining?
Learned.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, you step up, and you know what? One of the revelers will also join in and challenge you guys as you step up. Let's see here. So, you pay the 1 red ticket. Let me look at this. Okay, here's what's going to happen. Every participant, so that is Calamar, that is this reveler, and Fiametta. I want all of you, I want everyone participating to hover over their dexterity, and when I say go, you're just going to spam it 4 times.
Okay.
Alright?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Whoa.
All right, now
5.
now time to count. All right.
My last one doesn't count. I hit it 5 times apparently. Oh wait, no, I was looking at athletics. Shit, I rolled so low.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I hate to say it, Fiametta, but it's definitely coming down to Calamar and the other reveler, as they are leagues ahead of you. Calamar, roll 1 more dexterity against his. He gets a 2. All right, just by numbers, you got the higher one. You definitely got higher than him. So you are able to burst the balloon first as it explodes. And as it explodes out, let's see here. I need Fiametta, Calamar, and I'll roll for this Reveler to all make dexterity saving throws as the balloon pops.
Oh, okay. Not good.
Okay. As the balloon pops, we'll say... Roll a d8 real quick. All of you, the 3 of you, are going to take, as it pops, 4 points of cold damage as the balloon pops and lets out this freezing slime that coats you and kind of burns away at your skin before you are able to brush it off.
Wait, did that down anyone?
No.
I know we had some really low people. Okay.
And make sure to mark it on your token, Fiametta.
Did it update? No. Okay. So it wasn't tied to my sheet. There we go.
But with a win, Calamar, you are given 3 red tickets.
Yay.
Anything else while you guys are in the Midway? Or do you want to make your way to potentially somewhere safer like Matthew suggested?
I think we did it all. That was something.
We did indeed do it all.
Yeah, let's probably go to the hostel. Right? That's
Go
what it's called.
spend our tickets on something now.
Oh, true.
They're already burning a hole in my pocket.
Well, we need the tickets to do other
Spend?
stuff.
Oh. Like spend them?
Do we even know where
Yeah.
to spend the tickets outside of the games?
I
mean,
said everything was paid
everywhere.
for with tickets, like food. You get food.
Yeah. Food sounds good too. But the hostel could have food. I feel like
Yeah,
the
I think
hostel
the
would have
hostel
better
might
food.
be our best choice.
Is that the group's decision? Are you heading towards the hostel?
Seems like
Alright. You begin heading off towards the hostel. And as you walk through, again, you know, seeing the regular sights of a carnival. You find your way towards a 2-story inn made of mismatched wood, hastily constructed to form a narrow building that leans slightly to the right. Embedded on the building's facade are windows of various shapes and sizes. A hot pink door is covered in half-eaten candy and gum. A record of thousands upon thousands of revelers sticking their gum to the peeling wood. Above the door is a flickering neon sign illuminating only the me in the word welcome. To the left of the building is a wooden sign reading hostel in large red letters. There's a line through the word, and the other form of hostel is there. So the original writing was this, the new writing is this. Has been hastily scrawled beneath it, as you can hear the faint sounds of shouting and commotion spill from the slightly open door. And as you hear these sounds and the commotions spilling out from the door, as you stand under the bright moonlight in front of the hostile, that is where we will successfully end and call our first session of Heckna.
Nice.
this is funny. I really like this.
Yeah.
I am very excited to see where we go next and to present the Hostile Hostel to you guys. But for now, that is indeed our session 1.